I thought I would take you along with me on my typical Sunday morning walk through the garden. And I generally am in my pajamas like today. So it's one of my favorite things to do. Well, I have a lot of favorite things to do. It's one of my things on Sunday mornings to do is just grab my coffee. My eyes are barely awake. Throw on my muck boots and just walk out in the garden. When you grow flowers for a living, you tend to, your head's down, you work hard, you don't always, like, a lot of people will like, oh my gosh, your gardens are so pretty and that kind of thing. And I'm like, yeah, okay. They're a lot of work. So I try every single Sunday, either in the evening or in the morning, like today. The house is still quiet and asleep for my coffee and tootle about. So I thought I would take you with me. It's been dry for about 2 weeks here on the farm, and everything was cracked, and including me, my face and hands, and we've been having high winds and just warm days, and your skin's just coming off of winter when you haven't seen the sun for a while, and we don't really get cold spells here or anything like that. So my face and hands and everything just kind of freaked out. So it's recovering now. We thankfully, yesterday we woke up to rain falling and the wind blowing, and it was very much spring. And I don't know, I guess I must be a true Oregonian, because it's one of those things where you get these beautiful days that are just, the sun comes up, sun goes down, you don't even think about the weather, it's going and going and going, and then all of a sudden you're like, I kind of miss the rain. I need one of these days just to settle the dust back down, and so we got it. So here's a little tour. I'm going to show you a few things as I go, and as spring is, the gardens are always kind of a mixture of weeds and beautiful things, so I am going to show you both. Anyways, I hope you enjoy this tour. Little leak in one of our lines we'll have to fix later today. There's always something. This is a row of just beautiful columbine that I sowed. I think it was last year and got in. Isn't that lovely though? I'm gonna have to put my coffee down just to show you, because it just started blooming and it's just beautiful. It's got that little ruffly edge to it in the kind of raspberry pink, but this should fill in this bed here in the next couple years. I'm just going to let it seed this year. To the right of me, don't mind, we have some dahlias in a crate that's left. We had, this is interesting, so we had a whole bunch of gladiolas in here, and look at, they've reseeded. You can see them kind of spiking up through. I'll probably have to pull those out. But these are some David Austin roses we just put in. There's 10 of them here. We have Lynchfield Angel. And we have, let's see, I just wanted that like light pink. So this one is the Lynchfield Angel. They're doing good. I literally just planted these in February. It's April now. They're looking happy. Oh yes, I planted Queen of Sweden, which is a light pink, so that's gonna look gorgeous. I wanted the gardens to kind of keep that same colors here up by the house. I have a row of just some scented geraniums that I like to use, and different arrangements and that kind of thing. I love the smell of scented geranium. Not everybody does. Beautiful. I just overwintered those. This is the blue thistle Eryngium. I grew these from seed and potted them up, and they're going to be here. Some poppies, and this is like an orchid, a garden orchid. I think I bought the seed at Floret. It's really pretty. It's kind of got a really lacy, tall, kind of like the columbine. Oh, look at the wisteria. I don't know if you can see that. The wisteria is growing on the top of the house there. It's beautiful. I'll have to get that down. I don't know why it crawled up there, but it just did. This is an old rose. This is a new garden that I've tackled. Oh, here comes Stella, the cat. They always follow me around. Anyways, this is a beautiful, we don't know the name of it. People have tried to name it for me, but it's just gorgeous. Yellow rose that's going to climb over this breakfast area that I'm putting in. I started over there. You can see how pretty that is. You can see we've got some David Austin roses right next to the house. David Austin roses. And I've just kind of worked my way this way. I've got the peonies doing great. The little smatter, I call it the smatter garden. Kind of creating as I'm going. I still have a bare spot I got to fill in. I thought maybe I'd go to the garden center today and grab a few things. The columbine bed, and then we have the 2 rows of new roses, and then this is going to be some dahlias that I'm going to pop in here. They're kind of like the white and the blush kind of dahlia. And then this is a verbena. I'll put the name exactly down for you, but it's kind of that blue airy feel, but it spreads pretty well here. So what I've done is I'm gonna take out one garden and add it, leave just a few along here, and then just redo this whole section. So that's kind of as far as I've gotten on. I have sections of garden, but there's the first garden, and then this garden is new. We have a low point here in the garden. So I put in some raised beds, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put in just a few smatters of like pots between, and I can't decide if I want to do, maybe let me know in the comments below if I should do. I have access to wine barrels, so I could cut some wine barrels in half. I'm gonna go put my coffee down so I can point and show. Okay, so I found a resting place for my coffee cup, because what happens, I lose it every time. I'm so glad you're with me in the garden today. This is kind of fun, taking someone else besides me geeking out over things. Anyways, okay, so back to this bed where I'm deciding whether or not I want terracotta pots or if I'd like to have the wine barrels. So we have access to lots of free wine barrels that I could cut one in half, and I'll show you here. So I have this low spot that always gets a lot of water. So I put these raised beds in. Right now I have my peach Irish. Right now I have my peach collection of irises from Shriner's Iris Gardens. And then the next one I have a collection of kind of a blue and purple and a smattering of a few others. I have a whole bunch more. This was a gift when I first started growing flowers. Shriner's delivered a box of about 50 irises, just a mix of them, which was just the sweetest blessing. And so I want to keep that collection going and really put some thought and time into them. So these are going to be kind of my mother plants or my mother roots of different ones. And then I had some leftover, you can see my trays. Just stop working and leave them there. I'm trying to work really hard and not doing that, but it still happens. So these are some leftover ranunculus. They're looking okay. We just had that, just 2 weeks of dry, and you can see the evidence of it through all the new little seedling and starts. Anyway, so I want to do 1, 2, and then where this is 3 pots and then do nasturtium, growing up wooden kind of poles. So that's my plan. So this is a new bed. I'm just prepping. I got it down last night, but didn't get the pins in. They had a little wind. This bed's going to be tilled up. I just was neglectful. That's just neglect. Anyways, here we go with some roses. Just a mix of roses that we've got. We got all these roses from Weeks, and all of them are mostly design roses or roses that just go well in bouquets and stuff. This is a project that's going to be a sweet pea tunnel. My husband put this together for me. He and I kind of came up with this vision of being able to walk through a tunnel of sweet peas, and we've kind of planted it in a way that it just goes from kind of, I think, blushy pinks, whites, all the way back to just some gorgeous, gorgeous deep colors of reds and that kind of thing down. So we're hoping that will grow up. It's struggled a little bit just because, again, we had the heat. It's hard. This is an experimental garden. This is a no-till garden. I'm just layering down the cardboard that we get. We get a lot of cardboard, and then putting compost over the top of it. And then we will kind of see how that does. I've never done that before with flowers, so I just wanted to start with a small smatter because I don't like the look of the landscape fabric. But because we're right next to a grassy field, it can be an issue. You can see the roses. Oh, look, our very first rose. Look, pink. So down below here, this is a wild onion, which I have to keep in check. It's about done, but it's beautiful. I love how dangly that is next to some forget-me-nots. I love it against the blue of the studio. It reminds me of very European kind of style. Anyways, so this just goes along my studio and back to the dahlia gardens. But here I've just got some beautiful mints growing. I use that all the time. Some hollyhock, some digitalis, foxglove. And it just kind of walks you through up to the house. It's a beautiful little walk. I'm still working on this garden. I was thinking about putting in maybe a few hydrangeas. I don't know. Our soil always turns the hydrangeas pink, and I know you can do that little trick, but I think that's what I'm going to have to do. So this is a new woodland plant that I picked up, kind of tropical. I love mixing a little tropical in. Super fun. So anyways, I'm going to take you back. Look at this little clematis survived. It's been here for a year and a half now. It's going to grow up and over. So this is our dahlia patch. Now we raise dahlias mainly for weddings. So these are all kind of wedding colors that are here. I have some lupin down at the very end, and then lamb's ear, some more mint, a different type, and I know I shouldn't put it in the garden. And then this is just some more digitalis that overwintered that's going to come up. And over here I have some lilies. We have this dirt road here, so I have to be a little careful, and this is where I'm thinking about moving all those lilacs along here just to create a hedge. Neighbor's coming and I'm in my pajamas, so I'm gonna leave. Asian pear just finished blooming. We have like several different pear trees through here. The bunnies kind of keep things cleaned. Well, thank you so much for watching today and taking that morning PJ walk. I hope you try it sometime. It's, if you live in the city, you might have to put on a little bit more than just jump out of bed and jump into the garden. Well, much success in all you do and grow, and we will be seeing you soon. Bye-bye.